Good morning. I'm attempting to try to use a different device slightly for recording. Well, just really picking up the audio. I don't know if it will pick up. It's one of the problems. It works with, because it's very specific to the phone's applications, and I was trying to get hold of looking at sort of like mic settings and things like that. So I thought, well, if you can set it up with a Bluetooth mic, then you won't have to worry when you're doing like recordings and stuff. Should be all straightforward. Only problem is I'm not too sure it works exactly like that, and I was trying to look at settings. It didn't really let me play around with the settings, so it's a bit of a pain. It means I've got probably someone that's cleaning out a little mic, because the mic's on the phone is right at the very bottom. It's just like a little hole there. There's no way to tell if I'm recording or not. So, well, picking up the audio anyway, I can tell the recording part's easy. So anyway, I might do a quick video and talk about some things. Probably talk about maybe Mgtow, no contact, maybe some conspiracy. I was thinking, so I've had no contact with someone for, must be about a year and a half now actually. And with this lockdown, it's not going to happen anyway. It probably done me a favour, because the issue is I wasn't looking to have a conversation with her. I was just getting on with my life. But I was going to a place where one of her friends works, and when I was seen there, come up with these weird little comments and stuff, or checking out what I'm doing, and giving me a bad rap basically. I mean, potentially I could be a pain in the backside, but I haven't said or done anything that's out of order. I just hanged on a little bit, and was chasing something that she kind of set in motion, but she wasn't serious about it. And probably once you develop feelings for someone, it gets in the way, and there's no way you can just say, right, stop feeling that way. I think the only way to do that is just to avoid the person completely, and that's quite difficult as well. I mean, I did consider about, because I was working with her at some point, if I could pull myself away from working with her. But it's one of these things really. I was probably more able to sort of look after her at the time and sort things out for her, and it's just a bit of a messy situation. It's something where, I mean, partially I should be to blame, because I realised I had this thing, and it's I thought, well, I don't normally feel that way. So, but anyway, just an idiot thing, I guess, in reflection now. And that's the main thing as well, is that you've got to see, if you've gone through some sort of transition, you've got to see the old you and the new you, and you think, why the hell did you do that? And you might think, well, maybe I was just lonely, and you felt that things clicked, you projected onto this person your own values, and felt there was some potential chemistry there, which there could have been, but the circumstances were wrong. And it's probably best to have, if you think there's a kind of maybe, let the other person do a bit more of the work, because that would be a lot easier to set things up. I mean, in my head I think, well, how do you approach these things? And so really, for a guy, he's got to be, he's probably always looking to engage in some sort of romance or something going on in his head, because we're kind of very sexual creatures. That's really it. It's no different than a woman. It's just a different approach. She might favour some family values over things, or a slightly different mix. Especially when she's had children, she's not going to be necessarily looking. She might do. I mean, I remember something one of my brothers said in the past about this woman, and as soon as her child went to bed, she just jumped all over him. But when the child was there, different attitude. It's like, oh, this is my friend that's come round, and I can understand she's protecting the child, but it's like this kind of personality switch. It's like, whoa. But that's the part of it. The thing is, you're based with neural networks, and so you've got things you can't control that well, or you need to train them. And being in love and being possessive, or being controlling, or these kind of impulsive desires, and even if they don't manifest as something ugly, they're controlling you, and it's very difficult, because it's your biological programming, because it wants you to hook up, have a child, engage relationship. It's also this herd part of your brain that's been set up, and it's a pain. But the only way, you'd have to experience the pain, because it's not always online, always in love. So you can't work with that network of neurons that are involved with this sort of drug catalyst that goes on. And also the problem is when you get high on it, you want a higher dosage until you get to a point where it kind of fades off it. And that's probably the mellow part of the relationship. You're happy with each other, but you're not sort of emotionally high because your brain just said, well, this is normal now, so it's normalised it. And it's only when they're not in your life you start missing them, and then you start having these chemical reactions to the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah, it's just a messy business. But I think once you pass all that, so it's a part of it's training, and it's probably worse if you've taken a gap of, you could have dated loads of people, taken a massive gap from dating, for whatever personal reasons, maybe it's widowed, maybe it's ugly divorce or something, and when you get back in there, you don't realise how potential vulnerable you can be. So, but then again, that could be vulnerable not from distance of time, just the fact you want a fulfilment of yourself. Or especially for myself, as I'm getting older, I kind of want to complete the puzzle. I'm not looking to have lots of weird, odd relationships. I just want to meet that kind of person that I click with, who allows me to be myself and develop. But kind of with the Mgtow mentality, I need to look at how do I create something new that works for me, and also can benefit them. Like maybe I'm not looking for a serious relationship, maybe I'm looking for a casual relationship that's maybe long term. So I don't want to sort of, we're all going off and meeting lots of other people, but it's not so serious that you're signing a contract or anything like that. And then there's other issues like I like children, but do I want the hassle of that? Because it's actually a massive, I mean, it's what you call somewhere I come across a social disability for women, and possibly for men as well, financially definitely. Because if you have some children, then there's a responsibility, which you would expect, it's a kind of family orientation, you should take care of each other in society, but you lose some of the freedoms you had before because you have this additional responsibility that you must put beyond, to a high threshold. And it's a bit like, I come into my flat and this woman's recently had a child, it's a lovely child, but it's just crying and crying. And I thought to myself, oh God, I'm so glad that's not, I love children, but it's that kind of other side of it, like all the work going in there, and there's no downtime, and things like that, and me, it's best to create a child's own space to play in and do what it wants. When it's at that stage, when it's more independent, you want to keep them safe, but then you have good open relationship conversations with them, talk about things that matter, and you don't necessarily wrap them in cotton wool that things don't exist. It's a sort of false sense of illusion, which happens because there's a lot of fantasy you project into children, because you want to keep them children at some level, or some people are trying to make them grow up into things, put them into different environments. It's a very complicated one, being a parent, but anyway, there's joys in there as well. However, so there's two factors. Now I've already had my children. They're adults now, doing their own thing. One's at university. She's got a long-term partner, so that's fine. And my son, best of my knowledge, is trying to be an accountant. There's this whole thing like, oh, I don't have anything to do with him. He's this, he's that. I don't know. But I don't try to make a thing out of it. And also, it messes your head up trying to overthink these things. Basically, it's one of these relationships. The woman wants to be in charge, so she exiles the man from the family relationship rather than having any contact with him. And then if he does have any contact, she accuses him of being all these odd things, and it's just very toxic. So I think the idea is just to burn him out. And so you don't want him to have family. It's a bit like they're trying to get. Before we split up with my partner, they wanted to make me have a vasectomy when I was married. They were suggesting that was a good idea, the mother-in-law and that. And I was thinking, no, why would I want to do that? And it's because it was going downhill. Then so I can't have children. I can't see my children. Basically, it's just a horrible, nasty thing to do to a bloke. Burn him out. Try to turn him into a savage. And basically, if you keep calling someone a savage, they start responding and acting like one. So if they just say, F it, I will then. And then they go off on one. So, anyway, so where am I with the Mgtow? So it's just basically improve myself, look at different options. I mean, there are older women that basically they've done everything they wanted to do and they just want to enjoy life, and they might be the ones to tap in for, say, a casual relationship, because you might miss, but I mean, I do miss some good quality female contact. There was, no, they haven't got curtains on it, and just wanting to enjoy yourself when you're not working, and you want something long term, not something sort of shallow and meaningless. But also the opportunity is you can meet other people and so on, especially if it's casual and they're older, because then you can just see how it goes, really. Anyway, this is a big sign off for the video, and we'll see you next time.